This audiobook will change everything you've ever believed about yourself and your journey. By the end of it, you'll understand that you were never lost. You were chosen. You are here for a reason. This is not a random crisis. It's a calling. You are walking through your dark night of the soul, a gateway to your spiritual awakening. You have been selected for a greatness you cannot yet see. This book is your complete guide to understanding why and how to answer that call. Before we begin, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what you're experiencing right now. It's always inspiring to see people from all over the world working through similar challenges together. Introduction. The Awakening Call. There is a reason you feel different. There is a reason the life you once knew no longer fits. Why the dreams that once motivated you now feel hollow. And why a profound sense of restlessness has become your constant companion. This is not a random occurrence. This is by design. You have been selected. A deeper part of you, your sovereign soul, has issued a decree that the time for playing small is over. The comfort of the familiar was a cage you outgrew. And this unsettling, often painful, feeling of disintegration is the necessary process of breaking free. You are not being punished. You are being promoted. The universe does not invest this level of transformative energy in those who are not ready for a monumental shift. You are being prepared to level up, to step into a version of yourself so potent and aligned that your current self can scarcely imagine it. This journey, often called the dark night of the soul, is the most profound spiritual luck you can experience. It is the ultimate upgrade package. Think of the most influential, radiant, and truly powerful people in history, in any field. Behind their wisdom was a trial by fire. Their strength was forged in the crucible of their own despair. They endured the dark night and emerged not just healed, but rebuilt. They learned the secret that this book will teach you. That within you lies an immutable power to shape your reality. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of experience. The chaos you are navigating is the raw, unformed material of your new life. The old patterns, beliefs, and identities are crumbling because they were not built on the bedrock of your authentic soul. They were constructs, and now you are being given the tools to become the architect of your own existence. This guide is a manual for that construction project. We will move from understanding why you were chosen to implementing the daily, practical steps to rise from the ashes of your old life. We will explore how to harness the intense energy of this transition to manifest a reality that is not based on fear or conditioning, but on purpose, passion, and profound inner authority. You will learn that the darkness is not your enemy, but a fertile void where the seeds of your future are planted. This is your path to sovereignty. This is your time to level up. Let us begin the work. Chapter 1. The Selection. Why you were chosen for this journey. Let us talk about why you are here. I want you to really let this sink in, to feel the truth of it in your bones. You are not here by accident. This spiritual awakening, this dark night, is not a random catastrophe that struck an unlucky victim. It is a response. It is the universe's answer to a call your soul has been broadcasting for years, perhaps for your entire life. You were chosen because you reached a critical mass of seeking. You felt a depth of emotion that others seemed to numb. You asked questions that had no easy answers. You looked at the stars and felt a longing that could not be explained by any material desire. You possessed a capacity for truth, a hunger for authenticity, that made you the perfect, the only, candidate for this evolutionary leap. The universe is fiercely efficient. It does not waste this intense, catalytic energy on those who are not prepared to use it. Think of your past restlessness as your soul's application. Your deep-seated dissatisfaction was your qualification. This dark night you are enduring, this feeling of the ground dissolving beneath your feet, is your acceptance letter into a higher level of consciousness. It is your enrollment in the most advanced class your soul will ever take. Now, leveling up from this point means one thing above all else. It means you are transitioning from being a passenger in your life, just along for the ride, to becoming the pilot. You are taking the controls. And the first, most crucial step in claiming that authority is to fully and completely accept your selection. This requires a radical, perhaps even a brutal, reframing of everything you are going through. You must begin to see every spike of anxiety not as a malfunction, but as a surge of power you have not yet learned to direct. A raw voltage that once harnessed will light up your world. You must interpret every wave of grief not as a punishment, but as the necessary dissolution of a bond that was holding you to a lesser version of yourself, clearing the space for a connection more profound than you have ever known. That feeling of being utterly lost is not a sign of failure. It is the only honest response to having left the familiar map behind and charting a new, unknown territory. The discomfort is the cognitive dissonance between the old you, with its limited beliefs, and the new you, who is already vibrating at a frequency the old you cannot comprehend. So, how do you operationalize this? How do you move from understanding this concept to living it, to breathing it as your new reality? It begins with a single, powerful act of will. I want you to press pause on everything right now, in this moment, and I want you to speak a declaration into your space. Say it out loud. Let your own ears hear the words spoken by your own voice. Say, I accept this journey. I may not understand it fully, and I certainly do not enjoy all of it. But I trust that I have been chosen for a reason. I am ready to level up. This is not a passive affirmation. This is an active command. This is you aligning your conscious will with the universe's immense intention for your growth. You are confirming your selection, and from this moment forward, you make this your daily practice. Every single morning, before the world gets its hooks into you, before you check the phone that connects you to the old matrix, you will walk to a mirror. You will look directly into your own eyes, past the fatigue, past the doubt, and you will speak 3 sentences of power. You will tell yourself, I acknowledge that I am on a path of profound transformation. You will then state, I thank my challenges for strengthening me and clearing my path. And finally, you will decree, today, I consciously co-create my reality from a place of power and peace. This mirror ritual is the programming of your subconscious mind for the upgrade. It is you telling the universe, day after day, that you are an active, willing, and sovereign participant in your own awakening. This is how you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start commanding, this is happening for me, and I will use it to build something legendary. This is the foundation of everything that follows. This is you claiming your throne. Chapter 2. The Blueprint of Reality. How to build your new world. Now that you have accepted your role as the chosen architect of your life, we must talk about the blueprint. Because you cannot build a legendary new world with the old plans. Those plans were drawn up by someone else, by your parents, your culture, your past traumas. They were based on limited surveys and faulty foundations, designed for a person you no longer are. What you are learning now, in the crucible of your awakening, is that reality itself is malleable. It is not a fixed, concrete thing you are trapped inside, a prison of predetermined circumstances. Reality is a responsive field of energy. A living, breathing entity that mirrors back to you the deepest beliefs and the most dominant vibrations you hold within. To manifest a new life is not to wish upon a star. It is to become the person for whom that new life is already a living truth. It is to shift your inner state so profoundly that the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. This is the core of your power, the secret you were chosen to learn. Manifestation is not about manipulating the external. It is about mastering the internal. The dark night has served you here, too. By ruthlessly incinerating the old internal structures that were generating your old, limited reality. The anxiety, the loneliness, the lack you feel. These are all the death throes of those old vibrational patterns. They are the final screams of a paradigm being overthrown. Your job now is to deliberately install new ones. This is not a passive process. It is the most active work you will ever do. It begins with a question that most people never ask themselves with any real seriousness. What do I actually want to feel? Not what do I want to have, or what do I want to achieve, but what is the essential quality of the reality I wish to inhabit? Do you want to feel sovereign, utterly unshakable in your own authority? Do you want to feel connected to a divine purpose? A sense of being an essential thread in the tapestry of existence? Do you want to feel an unshakable peace? A serenity that is not dependent on external conditions? This feeling, this core desired emotion, is the cornerstone of your new blueprint. It is the foundation upon which everything else will be built. Let us bring this down to earth. Let us say you wake up tomorrow and for a moment, you forget the story of your problems. In that first quiet space of the morning, before the mind kicks in with its list of burdens, you have a choice. You can feel into the old vibration of lack and anxiety, or you can choose to feel into the new vibration of sovereignty and power. This is a muscular act of imagination. You close your eyes and you do not just think about peace. You generate the feeling of peace in your body. You feel it as a warmth in your chest. You feel it as a lightness in your shoulders. You allow yourself to marinate in that sensation for just 60 seconds. You are, in that moment, building a new neural pathway. You are broadcasting a new frequency to the universe. You are laying the first brick of your new reality. Throughout your day, when you encounter a trigger, you do not react from the old blueprint. You pause, you breathe, and you ask, how would the sovereign version of me respond? What would the peaceful version of me feel right now? And you choose that feeling. This is the work. This is how you build. You are not waiting for your circumstances to change to feel better. You are feeling better now to command your circumstances to change. You are operating as the cause, not the effect. You are building your new world from the inside out, one chosen feeling at a time. This is the master skill of the sovereign soul, and you are now its practitioner. Chapter 3. The Alchemy of Thought, Forging Your New Mind. Your mind has been a tyrant. Let us just be honest about that. It has replayed old stories of pain, predicted future failures with unwavering certainty, and narrated your present moment with a cynicism that feels inescapable. But I am here to tell you a truth that will set you free. Your mind is not your master. It is a tool. And like any tool, it can be mastered, honed, and directed toward a purposeful end. The chaotic thoughts that dominate your dark night are not the truth. They are the final, frantic rebellion of a paradigm that is being overthrown. You are now learning the art of mental alchemy, the ancient and noble process of taking the base metal of your fear-based thoughts and transmuting them into the gold of conscious, creative power. This is not about stopping your thoughts. That is a battle you will never win. A war against a phantom army. This is about changing your relationship to them. You are the awareness watching the thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. When you truly grasp this, when you feel the space between the watcher and the watched, you become free. Think of your mind as a radio. For most of your life, it has been tuned to a station called Fear FM, broadcasting a 24/7 news cycle of everything that could go wrong, every past mistake, every future worry. During the dark night, this station gets louder, more desperate, more shrill, because it is losing its listener. Your awakening is the moment you realize you are the one who controls the dial. You can, through a deliberate act of will, change the station. You can tune into Power AM, or Peace FM, or Sovereignty Radio. The outside static might still try to interfere. The old frequency might try to bleed through. But you can learn to hold the new frequency with the strength of your focused attention. So, how do you actually turn the dial? It starts with catching the thought. In the space between a triggering event and your habitual reaction, there is a sliver of freedom. A crack in the facade of your automatic self. In that sliver, you must learn to pause. You notice the thought, I am not good enough. Instead of believing it, instead of letting it pull you into its familiar story, you simply label it. You say, there is the old I am not good enough story. By naming it, you separate from it. You see it as a program running in the background, not as a fundamental fact of your existence. Then, you consciously choose a new thought. You do not have to believe it fully at first. You just have to be willing to entertain it, to try it on for size. You replace I am not good enough with I am in the process of becoming more than enough. You say it even if it feels like a lie. Even if your inner critic screams in protest, you are not lying. You are programming. You are installing a new software update over the old, buggy code that was running your life into the ground. This is mental alchemy. You do this over and over and over again. Every time you catch a limiting thought and choose an empowering one, you are forging your new mind. You are taking back your sovereignty from the internal tyrant. You are becoming the conscious programmer of your own reality. This is not a one-time event. It is a discipline. It is the daily practice of the sovereign soul. And it is how you reclaim the territory of your own consciousness. Chapter 4. The Language of Creation. Speaking your world into being. Words are not just sounds or symbols on a page. They are packets of energy. They are the vibrational architecture with which you build your lived experience. Every word you speak, both aloud in conversation and in the silent, relentless theater of your mind, is a command to the universe. It is a direct instruction on what to manifest next in your reality. During your dark night, your internal language has likely been a torrent of powerlessness, a waterfall of defeat. I can't handle this. This is too much. Why does this always happen to me? Nothing ever works out. You have been speaking a world of pain and limitation into existence without even realizing it, reinforcing the very chains you are trying to break. Now, as a sovereign soul in training, you must become a master of your language. You must learn to speak only the words that build the world you wish to live in, the world of power, peace, and purpose. This is not about polite, positive thinking. It is about wielding the creative force of sound with precision and power. Your voice is a magic wand. Are you using it to curse your reality or to bless it? Are you using it to reinforce the walls of your prison or to command them to dissolve? Let us get very practical. I want you to start a language detox, beginning right now. For the next 24 hours, I want you to become a vigilant guardian of your own speech. I want you to listen to yourself as if you are listening to a powerful monarch whose every word becomes law. Every time you are about to speak, I want you to run the sentence through a simple filter. Ask yourself, does this statement empower me or disempower me? Does it build my new world or reinforce the foundation of my old one? Does it sound like the language of a victim or the decree of a sovereign? You will be shocked, truly astonished, at how much of your casual conversation is laced with subtle and not so subtle declarations of your own limitation. When you catch yourself saying, "I'm so overwhelmed," you stop. You pause. You take a breath. And you restate it. You say, "I am navigating a lot right now, and I am developing the capacity to handle it with grace." Feel the difference in your body when you say that. The first statement is a surrender of power, a collapse into helplessness. The second is a claim of growing strength, an acknowledgement of challenge, coupled with an affirmation of your ability to meet it. The event is the same, but your relationship to it has been fundamentally altered through your language. This also applies, with even greater force, to the silent conversations you have with yourself. That is where the most damage is done, and where the most powerful healing can occur. When the old voice whispers, "You're failing," you do not just listen passively, you answer back, out loud, with the voice of your sovereign self. I am learning. I am growing. I am not failing. I am discovering what does not work. I am gathering data for my success. You must speak to yourself with the authority you wish to embody, with the respect you would show a valued advisor. The universe is always listening to the tone you use with yourself. It responds to your most consistent commands. So, command a life of power. Command a life of peace. Command a life of legendary success. Speak it, and then watch as the universe arranges itself to obey your decree. Your word is your wand. Wield it with intention. Chapter 5. The Physics of Action. Moving as the person you are becoming. You can think the most elevated thoughts and speak the most powerful words. But if your physical body is not moving in alignment with this new frequency, you will create a rift between your spirit and your life, a chasm that will swallow your momentum and breed doubt. Manifestation is not a mystical wish-granting service. It is a physics. For every inner state, there must be a corresponding outer action. Energy must flow. The power you are cultivating internally must have a pathway to flow into the world, to express itself in form, or it will stagnate and turn back into the sludge of frustration and self-suspicion. The person you are becoming, the sovereign soul, already exists in the realm of potential, a fully formed template of your highest self. Your job is to move your physical body, your daily habits, and your real-world decisions into congruence with that potential being. You must act as if you are already the person you are leveling up to become. This is not about faking it. It is about embodying it. It is about closing the gap between vision and reality through deliberate motion. The gap between your current action and your desired state is where the magic of transformation actually occurs. It is the forge where your future is hammered into shape. So, what does the sovereign you do? How does that version of you move through the world? Let us be specific. That version of you does not hit the snooze button and scroll through a phone filled with other people's agendas and manufactured crises. That version of you rises and claims the first hour of the day for the consolidation of personal power, for the mirror work, for the feeling practice, for setting the tone of sovereignty. That version of you does not consume a diet of fear-based news and gossip, which is psychic poison. That version of you consumes information that educates, elevates, and inspires, that fills your mind with building blocks, not rubble. That version of you does not complain about a lack of resources. That version of you takes one small, concrete, decisive action with the resources that are already available, understanding that the universe rewards initiative, not complaint. Your action is the proof of your faith in your own unfolding. It is the signal to the universe that you are ready to receive the correlating reality. It is the final, essential step in the creative circuit. So I want you to choose one thing. Just one. One single, non-negotiable action that the future, sovereign version of you would do consistently. Maybe it is a 5-minute walk in nature, no phone, just being present with the trees and the sky. Maybe it is tidying your living space to reflect the inner order and self-respect you are creating. Maybe it is finally sending that email, making that call, starting that project you have been dreaming about but were too afraid to attempt, taking that first step even if it is small and shaky. Do not make it grandiose. Make it actionable. Make it so simple that you cannot reasonably say no to it. And then, tomorrow, you do it. You do not wait to feel motivated. You do not wait for the fear to subside. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. You move your body through the motion of your future self. And as you do, a profound shift occurs. Your mind witnesses your body taking this new action and says, "Oh, I see. We are the kind of person who does this now." Your actions are programming your identity. You are not acting your way into a new way of thinking. You are acting your way into a new way of being. This is the physics of creation. Move, and the universe will move with you. Move, and you become the living embodiment of your own command. Chapter 6. The Magnetism of Being. Becoming a vortex for your desires. There is a force far more powerful than relentless striving, a force that you are now ready to understand and access. It is the magnetism of your being. When you are aligned with your sovereign self, when your thoughts are purified, your language is powerful, and your actions are congruent, you stop chasing your desires, and you start attracting them. You become a vortex. A vortex does not run around trying to gather things to itself. It naturally, effortlessly, draws things into its field by the power of its own spin, its own coherent, concentrated energy. Your dark night was the necessary process of breaking your incoherent energy, the energy that was out of sync with your soul's purpose, the energy that repelled what you truly wanted because you were vibrating at the frequency of lack. Now, you are learning to spin with a new, pure, potent frequency that pulls toward you, the people, opportunities, and resources that are in harmonic resonance with your sovereign soul. This is the ultimate leveling up. You transition from the hunter, exhausted and desperate, trudging through the forest hoping to find his prey, to the sovereign, seated firmly in the center of his own power, allowing his kingdom to come to him, knowing that what is his will not pass him by. How do you cultivate this magnetism? It begins with a state of inner fulfillment. This is the master key. A magnet does not need the metal. It is complete in itself. Its power to attract is intrinsic to its nature. Your work, therefore, is to generate the feeling of fulfillment now, not when the desire manifests. If you desire a soul-nourishing relationship, you must first become a soul-nourished person. You must feel the joy, the peace, the companionship within your own being. You must become your own source. If you desire abundance, you must first feel the feeling of abundance overflowing within you. You must appreciate the wealth you already have, the air in your lungs, the roof over your head, the consciousness that reads these words. You generate the feeling first, and that feeling becomes your magnetic charge. Then, and this is critical, you release the how. You release the desperate need to control the pathways and the timelines. Your only job is to hold the frequency and to take the inspired actions that come from a place of alignment, not lack. These are the actions that feel light and right, that have a flow to them, not the actions that feel heavy and forced, born of anxiety. When you are a vortex, opportunities seem to find you. Synchronicities become a normal, expected part of your life. The right person calls at the right time. The perfect book falls off the shelf. A chance encounter leads to a golden opportunity. This is not luck. This is physics. This is the law of attraction operating through a coherent, sovereign being. You have become a match for your desires. So, stop chasing. Start being. Become the vortex, and watch in wonder as your world rearranges itself to serve your highest purpose. This is the grace that follows the grind, the magic that rewards the mastery. Chapter 7. The Sanctuary Within. Building your unshakable core. The world is loud. It is chaotic, demanding, and often hostile to the sensitive, awakened soul you are becoming. You cannot control the external storms, the shifting opinions of others, the market crashes, the personal betrayals, the daily frustrations. But you can, and you must, build an internal sanctuary so fortified, so serene, that the storms cannot touch the essential you. This sanctuary is not a place you visit occasionally on a meditation cushion. It is the new headquarters, the permanent residence of your sovereign soul. It is the command center from which you operate, no matter what is happening outside. Your dark night has, ironically, begun this construction by destroying all your former external refuges, those places you used to run to for validation, for escape, for safety, the approval of others, the numbness of addiction, the identity of your job they have proven to be unreliable, temporary shelters in a hurricane. This was a gift. It forced you to look inward for the peace you sought outward. It showed you that the only true safety is the safety you build within. Now, we build that inner fortress with intention. The foundation of your sanctuary is your breath. Your breath is the anchor that always, always, connects you to the present moment, to life itself, to the eternal now. When the world feels like it is spinning out of control, when the mind is screaming, when emotions are raging, you return to the breath. It is your home base. You take 3 deep, conscious breaths, feeling the air move in and out of your body, feeling the lungs expand and contract. This simple, primal act instantly pulls your awareness out of the chaotic mind and into the stable, silent body. You are here. You are alive. You are grounded. The walls of your sanctuary are built from the truths you now know, the unshakable knowledge you have earned through your journey. I am not my thoughts. I am a creator, not a victim. I have been chosen for this. My reality is a reflection of my inner state. These are not just concepts you read in a book. They are living, structural elements of your new inner world. You reinforce these walls daily through your mirror work, your mental alchemy, your sovereign language. They become stronger with every conscious choice you make. The roof of your sanctuary is your connection to something greater than yourself, whether you call it the universe, God, Source, or your higher self. It is the feeling that you are supported, that you are not alone in this, that you are a part of a vast, intelligent, and benevolent cosmos that is conspiring in your favor. This connection is cultivated in silence. It is in those moments when you sit in quiet contemplation, not asking for anything, not begging or pleading, but simply listening, feeling into the vast, quiet love that holds you. This is your sanctuary. This is your home. No one and nothing can take it from you. The more you live from this place, the less the external world can shake you. You respond from peace instead of reacting from panic. You are a pillar of clarity in a world of confusion. This inner fortitude is the ultimate power. This is sovereignty realized. This is the unshakable core of the sovereign soul. Chapter 8. The Vision Forge. Crafting the legend of your life. You have done the internal work. You have stabilized your mind, mastered your language, and built your inner sanctuary. Now, we step into the most creative and exhilarating part of your journey. The Vision Forge. This is the sacred space within you, where the legend of your life is actively crafted, moment by moment, choice by choice. A legend is not something that happens to you. It is a story you decide to live, a narrative you consciously author with your thoughts, words, and deeds. Most people live by default, following a pre-written script given to them by their culture, their family, their fears. You, as a sovereign soul, are the author. The dark night burned the old, boring, limiting manuscript to ashes. Now, with a blank page before you, you get to write an epic. This is not about setting mundane linear goals like get a promotion or lose 10 pounds. This is about connecting to a vision so compelling, so aligned with your soul's deepest purpose, that it pulls you forward with an irresistible magnetic force. This vision is the fuel that will make the daily practices feel, not like chores, but like sacred steps on a heroic journey. It is the North Star that guides you when the path is dark. So, how do you find this vision? You must give yourself permission to dream without limits, to cast aside the shackles of realism and practicality. They are the enemies of legend. I want you to find a quiet hour, a space where you will not be interrupted. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to ask yourself one question, and then listen for the answer not from your mind, but from your soul. If I were absolutely guaranteed to succeed, and if I knew I could not fail, what legendary life would I choose to live? Do not edit the answers. Do not let the voice of the inner critic speak. Let the images come. Let the feelings flow. What are you doing? How are you contributing to the world? Who are you helping? What does your environment look and feel like? Who is with you? How does it feel to be you in this vision? Feel the vitality, the purpose, the joy, the profound satisfaction. This feeling is the key. It is the essence of the vision. Now, write it down. Write the story of your legendary life in the present tense, as if it is already happening. Be detailed. Be emotional. I am living in a home filled with light and creativity, a space that inspires everyone who enters. I am leading a community of people who are uplifting the world, and our impact is felt globally. I am expressing my unique gifts freely and being abundantly rewarded, not just with money, but with fulfillment. I am a beacon of peace and strength for my family, and our home is a sanctuary of love. Read this story every single day. This is not a one-time exercise. This is the maintenance of your forge. You are keeping the fires hot, continually shaping the metal of your potential into the form of your future. Your vision becomes the blueprint that your aligned actions and magnetic being then manifest into reality. You are not just getting through the dark night. You are using its transformative fire to forge a legend, and you are that legend in the making. Chapter 9. The Sovereign's Rhythm. Mastering Energy and Time. The old you was likely ruled by the clock, by deadlines, by the frantic, unsustainable pace of a world that values doing over being, output over essence. The sovereign you operates on a different rhythm entirely, the rhythm of energy. You are learning to listen to the natural ebbs and flows of your own power, and to respect them as you would the tides of the ocean. There are times for intense, focused, expansive action, and there are times for deep, restorative, contractive rest. Forcing action when your energy is low is like trying to sail a boat when the tide is out. You will only get stuck, run aground, and become frustrated, wasting precious energy on a futile effort. The sovereign soul knows when to raise the sails and catch the wind, and when to drop the anchor, rest, and wait for the tide to turn. Mastering this rhythm is how you avoid burnout and live in a state of sustainable, renewable power. Your dark night has likely left you energetically bankrupt, and that is a clear, undeniable message that the old way of pushing and striving is over. That paradigm is dead. So, how do you find your rhythm? It begins with tuning into your body, learning its language. Instead of looking at a to-do list first thing in the morning, check in with your energy. Place a hand on your heart and ask yourself, what is my capacity today? What does my body need? What does my soul require to stay in its power? Honor the answer. If your energy is low, your primary task for the day is not to force a productivity marathon. Your task is to choose restorative practices, a gentle walk, reading for pleasure, meditation, hydration, a long bath. This is not laziness. This is strategic energy management. You are charging your battery so you can later operate at peak performance. You are being a good steward of your most valuable resource, your life force. On days when your energy is high, when you feel clear and potent, that is when you take bold, decisive action on your vision. You make the important calls. You write the chapters. You build the projects. You have the crucial conversations. You flow with the current. You do not fight against it. This also means creating and fiercely protecting boundaries to safeguard your energy. You learn to say a clean, clear no to people and situations that drain you, that leave you feeling depleted. You curate your environment, your social media, your news intake, your physical space to support your new frequency, not sabotage it. You understand that your energy is your most precious currency, and you spend it only on investments that yield a return in peace, joy, connection, and fulfillment. When you live in your sovereign rhythm, you accomplish more by doing less. You are in a state of flow with life itself. Time becomes your ally, not your enemy. You are no longer running out of time. You are moving with the timeless, natural rhythm of your own soul. This is the rhythm of mastery. Chapter 10. The Emergence. Stepping into your world as a new being. The time has come. The work you have done in the shadows, in the quiet depths of your being, is now ready to be revealed in the light. This chapter is not about an end, but a beginning. The beginning of your life as a conscious, sovereign creator. The dark night is receding, not because your external circumstances have necessarily all fixed themselves into a picture of perfection, but because you have fixed your internal navigation system. You are no longer lost at sea, tossed about by every wave of emotion and every wind of circumstance. You are the captain of a vessel that has been tested and strengthened in the worst of storms. You now know how to read the stars of your inner guidance. You know how to steer with the wheel of your intention. You know how to adjust the sails of your energy to catch the winds of synchronicity. You are seaworthy. Emergence is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming present, powerful, and purposeful. You will still face challenges. You will still have difficult days, but you will no longer be defined by them. A storm to the old you was a catastrophe, a reason to despair. A storm to the sovereign you is simply weather. You know how to navigate it. You trust your vessel. You have a destination, and you know you are capable of reaching it. So, how do you step forward? You step forward exactly as you are, but with a new awareness humming in the background of your consciousness. You walk into your existing life, but you see it with new eyes. You engage with the same people, but you interact from a new place within yourself, a place of calm authority. You are no longer seeking permission or validation from the outside world. You are expressing your sovereignty through your calm demeanor, your clear communication, and your compassionate but firm boundaries. You are a living example of what is possible when a human being decides to stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the author of their destiny. Your very presence becomes a permission slip for others to begin their own awakening. Do not be surprised if people notice a change in you that they cannot quite name. They might say you seem more grounded, more at peace, more yourself. You carry a new energy, a quiet authority that commands respect without you having to demand it. Your life becomes your masterpiece, a living legend that you are crafting one conscious moment, one aligned action, one powerful word at a time. You emerged from the dark night not to return to the old world, but to lead the way to a new one. This is your sovereignty. This is your power. This is your legendary life, now being lived. The work continues, but the war is won. Now, go and live it.